It was Friday evening, the end of a long working week. The phone rang, startling Alina out of her daydream. "I'm on my way," she said into the receiver, and hurried to leave the office. Alina worked in a prestigious law firm. She was revered by her colleagues, envied by other women, and feared by her clients. But behind the thick glass walls of her office, something else was happening. Alina went through the motions of her life, working, eating takeout, and watching TV. She could still remember the exact moment when each dish had been served in her home. The scent of simmering spices brought back memories of laughter and warmth. The taste of her husband's famous spaghetti carbonara brought tears to her eyes. Alina realized that her greatest mistake wasn't neglecting her career or letting her ambition consume her. It was forgetting that the most important thing in life is the people you love. All the success and achievement in the world are unworth it if you have no one to share it with. She had no one to cook for her anymore, and the thought of having to learn how to do it herself seemed overwhelming. It was about being someone her children could turn to when they needed it. "Would you and your sister like to come over for dinner?" There was a pause. "I'd like that," her son finally said. As Alina hung up the phone, a smile spread across her face. It was just spaghetti carbonara, but to her it was a symbol of hope. Hope that she could rebuild her relationship with her children. One recipe, one memory, one conversation at a time. Most of all, she realized that it wasn't too late to make things right. Although her children were leaving home, she could still be a part of their lives. She could still be the grandmother who baked cookies, told stories, and offered a listening ear. She might have messed up, but she could try to make it right. She could try to be a better mother, even if it was too late to be the best. One evening, she came home from work and found a package on the doorstep. Inside was a beautifully carved wooden box. Alina opened it and found a cookbook. Don't let your ambition drive you to neglect those who love you. Take the time to create memories, to show up for your loved ones, because they will grow up and someday it might be too late. Nurture your relationships, cherish your family. And never forget that the greatest success is the love and connection you share with those around you. On the first page was a handwritten note. "Mom, I know how much you love Dad's cooking, so I thought maybe this will help you remember all the great meals we shared as a family. Love, your son." Alina's eyes filled with tears as she flipped through the pages. Each recipe was accompanied by a funny story or an inside joke. It was like a tangible piece of her past, and she felt a surge of regret. If only she had put more effort into being a good mother. If only she had taken the time to nurture her relationships. Maybe then things would be different. But she had chosen work over family, and now it was too late. Her children grew up resenting her for not being there for them. On the rare occasions that she did try to connect with them, they pushed her away. "I want to go to a party with my friends. Can't you see I'm busy?" she heard them say time and time again. Alina tried to tell herself that it was all part of growing up, that her children were simply becoming independent, but deep down, she knew that it was also her fault. When they were younger, she had failed to nurture their relationship, and now it was too late to repair the damage. Over the years, she had built a reputation for being tough and demanding, traits that made her both respected and feared. Their daughter was planning to follow in her footsteps and become a lawyer, and she had enrolled at a prestigious university. "You always used to complain that I wasted too much time with the children. Now look at them. They were leaving the nest, and you haven't spent a single meaningful moment with either of them since they turned 16. Alina couldn't argue with that. She had sacrificed her relationship with her children on the altar of success, and now it was too late to make amends. But now, as she dashed through the crowded city streets, all Alina could think about was the warm welcome that awaited her at home. Her husband would have prepared her favorite dinner, and their 2 kids would be waiting to hear about her exploits at work. Life couldn't have been better. When Alina got home, however, the atmosphere was strained. Her husband looked upset, and their children, instead of being excited to tell them about their week, were staring at the floor with downcast eyes. "What's wrong?" Alina asked, alarmed. "We need to talk," her husband began, taking a deep breath. "I haven't told you before because I didn't want to upset you, but I found out today that you're the worst mother in the world." Alina stared at him in disbelief. "What are you talking about? Of course I'm not. I work hard so that we can live comfortably. Isn't that enough for you? For the children? It doesn't matter. You have no time for your children. You don't know what they do during the day. You don't ask about their grades or their friends. You've completely neglected them." Alina felt tears prickling her eyes, but she blinked them away. "I'm sorry, but I've worked really hard to get where I am today. No one else in this family understands what it takes to succeed. If I stopped trying, we'd be back to square one. And you wouldn't be able to criticize me for not being there for the kids. We'd be living paycheck to paycheck again. Do you want that?" Her husband fell silent. He knew Alina was right, but he also knew that she wasn't seeing the bigger picture. "This isn't just about money, Alina. It's about the emotional needs of our children. They're hurting, and it's our job as parents to take care of them." Alina sighed. She was tired of this discussion. "Can't we agree to disagree? It's getting late and I'm famished. How about some takeout?" Her husband looked at her for a moment without saying a word. Then he nodded slowly. Alina gave him a grateful smile. She still had no idea how he managed to cook such delicious meals every night, but she loved coming home to his cooking. It reminded her of simpler times before her career took off, and she was known as the best mother in the world. As the years passed, Alina became a partner at the law firm. One Friday evening, when Alina came home from work, her husband told her that their son was going abroad to study at a university. The next few months passed in a blur. Over the next few weeks, Alina tried out the recipes, each one bringing back a flood of memories. She began to understand that being a good mother wasn't just about being present. It was about creating memories, traditions, and a sense of belonging. Alina picked up the phone and dialed her son's number. "Hey, Mom," he answered. "I'm making Dad's spaghetti carbonara tomorrow. So remember, everything you do to others comes back to you." Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.